Alright, what's up, fuckers? Back again with week 5 power rankings. Different music this time, it's a stream. The channel name is Chill Hop Music. I'll try and link it if I remember. Christmas Lo-Fi Hip Hop Radio. So hopefully you guys enjoy the study slash relax beats. It's pretty adorable seeing this little raccoon on his laptop studying. So we take those, and I'll just, let you do whatever with that. But let's hop right into things here. So first up, this slide was very easy to make. I am not gonna lie to you. All of you except Boomcan, this was extremely easy to make. I'm very sorry that you're still on here, Boomcan, but I moved you up because, even though you did play, I really didn't think you played very well, and Hamu took great advantage of your team. Code, I'm sorry that you're over here, but Rox didn't play his games, so he's in last. So let's start with Boomcan then. You had defensive momentum, but you had no offensive momentum. I liked your choice to stay in regular Altaria. That's kind of why you moved up, was because you made a good play and you got to kill it a bit. But when you're +1, you probably should just attack the Weavile. I don't know why. I understand why you switched, right? Because you were afraid of Ice Shard, but realistically, you're not going to set up on anything else. So it's probably better to just go for the choke, and you might have just been able to win at that point had you stayed in. So, I also didn't think you were going to be able to get a defog off, so another reason why you probably wouldn't want to save Altaria, because Altaria was dying to rocks. I think I seem to remember it dying on rocks like 40% or something like that. I can't remember. It was really low, wasn't it? Because the Sludge Wave did a lot. I felt that you need more offensive threats on your team that require prep, because Kartana just keeps getting baited every single game. The Kolber Gorgeist with HP Fire really baited it in well. I'm pretty sure Gorgeist gets Flamethrower, by the way, Hamu. So if you're watching this, let me just double check. But I remember Magic talking about Flamethrower Gorgeist, or Jed talking about Flamethrower Gorgeist, maybe. And I'm wasting all this time looking up Gorgeist, but Gorgeist. Yeah, it does. What the hell? It gets Flamethrower. What did you need HP Fire for? Okay, retard. I'm not going to bring that up in Hamu's part now, but there you go. Hamu's a retard and didn't do that. Flames and Eevee, you guys haven't played, so I just put you down here. Flames has been a little bit worse this season, so I put Flames a little bit lower. I don't know. It was less of a drop for Flames than it was for Eevee, so there you go. That's this slide. Nice. One out of the way already. All right, Mano, you didn't play this week either, so that's why you're 12th. You didn't change, but I haven't seen your game yet, so you're 12th. Jack, wild. You played your game, so you're 11th. Congrats. You moved all the way up to 11th because you played your game. I didn't have a ton of points for you because you got absolutely obliterated in the 6-0. I said, not your finest of games, my friend, hold this L, and then you probably should have gone Crocodile sooner. You could have threatened out the Mega Tyranitar and avoided the 6-0, because I think if you had gone Crocodile while you had the Reflect up, you had a better shot of winning. And at the very least, you would have taken up the T-Tar or forced it out and avoided the 6-0 sweep. Big yawn. Wouldn't be one of my videos without a yawn. Barry, I moved you up tiny little bit. Mainly because you pulled some differential out of that game that you probably shouldn't have had, but just sort of depended on how Snowman plays. That was a really risky taunt turn 1. I didn't like that play at all, but you didn't bring removal, so you got kind of cucked by the Volt Switch there. I mean, honestly, if I'm Greninja against a Galvantula, you just kind of expect it to attack. Like, it's super effective with dual stab against both of your typings, so probably a bad decision to just even stay in there. And Volt Switch covered that play of you swapping. Heatran was your win con this game, likely. It ended up having a really good matchup against a lot of the stuff that was on his team, and unfortunately, Zoroark staying alive really sucked for you. Would have been nice to get that kill, and then you get momentum instead of having to eat the HP ground as well. Yeah, like the Zoroark switching in and then getting to click HP ground against you was not the most fun of times when you could have killed it and it lived on 1. That was really, yeah, just bad luck, really. I feel like if you had prepped a little bit better around webs, you would have had a fighting chance here. But I didn't like that you went blow for blow when you couldn't prep for webs. A blow for blow game, in my mind, same with EV, a blow for blow game sort of ends in the favor of both of your teams just because of how offensive they are. In this case, Snowman went blow for blow with you, but he had webs up, so you lost, and that's kind of all there was to it. Austin and the Atlanta Landers, you got absolutely mollywopped by Vandrel this week. I had two very small points for you here. Mono Special Attackers was a big rip, and Hacks isn't a win con rip. You are ninth. That's about it. Honestly, the reason you're ninth and not lower is because you have been better at your highs this season than both Barry and Jack, and so that's why you're ninth. Because everyone else, well, you basically didn't play their games, so it's a very weird week this week. Byron, I did not like your game whatsoever. I wanted to die watching that. What is with you bringing the same team? Like that felt like the exact same six that I've seen pretty much every single week. Seems very easy to prep for, and it seems like Magic prepped for it very well. Glaring the Shaman was probably a worthless play. I think you should have probably just gone for the Dragon Claw damage there. It's a natural Curamon. As soon as he switches out, he's not paralyzed anymore. You got kind of lucky with the Inferni missing Fire Blast early on because it allowed Fortress to stay around and stall the game out, get you some differential back. I didn't like your strategy of like wearing down the Deblade by forcing it in on rocks every single time you tried to rapid spin, but it's a strategy, I guess. I don't understand why you didn't just bring Hoopy U. You could just brought like Scarf Hoopy U, and then the only threat to it is like Infernape, Scarf Infernape. Um, all of that time and a Z move, and Shaman was back to full health. Yeah, you really had nothing for Subseed Shaman. I don't really understand when your team is bulky. You got to expect people to try and stall you out like that. Very weird that you didn't bring like, Hoop Unbound. Really, Hoop Unbound would have solved so many problems this game, and it just doesn't make sense why you didn't bring it to me. Magic, I only put you at 7th because I just hated that game so much, and it was so stally. Like you really played well. Everybody above you played better. That's really all I can say. That match was the worst out of all of the matches. Everyone else played a much cleaner game. Even Necro, who lost, who's above you, but Necro is in a much better place in the standings, and he's been very consistent this season, which is why you're 7th, Magic. I don't understand why your Mega Aerodactyl didn't outspeed Mega Beedrill. I get you might want to be adamant. Doesn't matter. You need to outspeed Mega Beedrill. I get that you probably thought in your head, oh, I live a hit from Mega Beedrill. Doesn't matter. If you get chipped, Mega Beedrill will kill you. You needed to speed creep the Mega Beedrill. That was really bad prep. Your Infernape set was very solid. I enjoyed that a lot. The close combat plus Fire Blast. Then you could lure in the Spadef Porygon 2. And you would lure in physically defensive Fortress, and I like that a lot. Your Shaman set was absolute cancer, but it effectively wore down these stupid walls. I said a lot of what I need to say in Byron's part, but you made a lot of good doubles, and it sort of gave me hope that the game wouldn't be AIDS, but it was anyways. So congrats on having the worst game of the week, potentially the worst game I've seen all season. Hamu, you won, but you were ninth, so I'm not pushing you further than 6th. I had a couple things for you. First of all, no Flamethrower and Gorgeist, okay retard. Diamond Storm is physical retard. No Defog Rotom Heat, okay retard. There's your 3 retards. Besides that, you played really well. I liked the Grass Knot play, catching the Swampert coming in. It was really good. The Colburler was really great, and you got caught out by Boomcan's decision to stay in a regular Artalier with Nihilego. Otherwise, you probably would have won that game 6-0. It was really ballsy SD play, but you baited the Ice Shard, and you ended up winning the game after the SD. So pretty clean all around. Necro, you played, in my opinion, the best battler in the league right now. So I didn't drop you too much because you're losing against good competition and you're part of the good competition, so I can't fault you for that really. I didn't think it was your most well played battle ever, but there's really no harm in losing to Amish. So, unfortunately, your walls got worn down very effectively, and I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of a creative Suicune set with like HP Electric instead of just Vincoon to try and handle Whirlpool Azumarill, which is always a good option against Suicune, by the way, especially against Suicune plus Celesteela. Banded would have been all right, but Celesteela switching in on the player ups that Suicune appreciates, and switching in on the liquidations that Celesteela doesn't appreciate. So, Banded isn't as good. Belly Drum doesn't really function against a Suicune Celesteela team because of Scald, and because of Roar on Suicune as well. But Whirlpool is always viable. So I think you probably should have predicted the Perish Trap set. It would have been fairly obvious looking at your team. I looked at it afterwards and I was like, okay, I get it. Especially against Serena. When Serena blocks the Aqua Jet from Azumarill as well and it outspeeds, definitely worthwhile bringing a Sap Sipper set. So, God, I hope you have Serena. I remember you having Serena from the draft analysis. Pretty sure you still have Serena. Shit, if you don't have Serena, I might be completely wrong. Show me, Serena. Yeah, no, you still have Serena. Okay. Yeah, so that was definitely the right bring against your team was the Whirlpool set, especially because looking at the matchup, let me pull up Amish's team. I don't think that Blaziken's really a threat to Amish at all. Yeah, not really. Like Blaziken only really threatens Scizor, and Arcanine kind of switches in on it for free. So does Gliscor, so does Jellicent. So, Blaziken didn't really have a matchup to threaten the Azumarill, and what else is even there? Golurk doesn't really have a matchup either. So, Mega Diancie, not as much of a problem when you eat hits, especially when you have Scizor sitting right there to revenge it every single time. So, yeah, I definitely think that was something that could have gone a little bit better. What am I thinking of now? What am I thinking of now? Who's next? No, sorry, I had more points. Scarf Mence looked fairly effective, but I really think a special set, like a Life Orb set maybe with Fire Blast, would have handled the Scizor switch, or even just a mix set with Life Orb, Expert Belt, something along those lines. A little bit more flashy than the Scarf, and might have been a little bit better. Or like Dragon Dance with Fire Blast, or even Dragon Dance with Fire Fang, would have been the same thing. Then you would have at least had the threat of changing your moves instead of just being walled by something each time. So the Scarf Mence just probably wasn't the play. Very risky swap in on Alakazam against the Jellicent. Kind of strange to me. I didn't really understand why you would swap that in on a Hex. And then you overpredicted with the Thunder Wave, and it cost you the game. Pretty much, because Alakazam probably could have picked off at least one more thing, maybe two, and you didn't get it. So there you go. Top four. Top four is Vandarill and the Galahan Curlia's absolute smash this week. Archit and the Bombay Cephalons again, absolute smash. And Snowman and Amish, consistent as ever. Both of the 5-0 teams. I believe you two are the only 5-0 teams. Let me just double check now. I know you both have won every single game, so I'm hoping you're both the only 5-0 teams. Yes. Yes, you are. Necroforn 1, Archit 3 and 2. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. And Vandarill 3 and 2 as well. So, wow, that Pikachu division is really close right now. Eevee could come out of nowhere and win that division. It's kind of insane. I don't look at the stock enough, clearly. Very clearly, actually. So, Vandarill, let's get to you with my tiny points that I had about your game. Again, it was basically a smash. Mega Alakazam broke through all the hacks and just destroyed Austin's team completely. I thought the defensive investment was pretty nifty, and I liked how you played that game, and Mega Alakazam swept, so not really much to talk about there. Archit, you had really good capitalization on the Moxie Crocodile. You figured out that it was Scarf like right away on Locked in the Dark move, and Mega T-Tar clicked Dragon Dance and won the game. That's really all there was to it. Mega T-Tar just kind of ran train. Snowman, let's get to you now. Snowman, where the fuck did I put your game? Here we go. All right. It was a good Volt Switch. It was a risky read if he went Nidoking right away, but I don't know if you have Bug Buzz or not. Bug Buzz would have done the exact same thing, except your risky play ended in a turn 2 play that I really liked. I really liked the strategy behind this, and I have no idea if you did it on purpose or not, but it was amazing if you did do it on purpose. Disguising Zoroark as the Vaporeon and baiting in the Vikable turn 2 to get rid of its item. I thought that was amazing. I loved that play. It was clearly a very utility-based Zoroark because you're a mixed attacker. I thought that was really well thought out, and I really hope I'm not praising this completely randomly. I didn't necessarily like you sacking Vaporeon. I think it was the best play at the time, but you could have made another middle ground play, kept Vaporeon alive, and been less weak to Heatran because Heatran kind of like picked up a kill once Vaporeon died. The full para ended up being really clutch and allowed you to get a hit off, and then it was not really your cleanest game. I've seen a lot cleaner games from you, but you brought an incredibly offensive team this week. Mega Glade cleaned up nicely at the end, but you played around with the potential Lava Plume burn. I don't believe that you had seen that it was Flamethrower yet, and the Lava Plume burn could have been very scary for you. That would have been a little bit disheartening if I were you in that scenario. And then last but not least, Amish. I mean, not really much to say about you here, Amish, but I've got a couple points. It was a clutch turn 1 burn, freeing up Mew to do a lot of other stuff. You did a really good scout for the Scarf Salamence by Mega Evolving the... Well, I mean, not even necessarily, but by Mega Evolving Mega Manectric, staying in on the Salamence, it was a good scout, and then you basically could play around the Scarf Salamence the entire game. So I like that a lot. Scarf Physical Mew was absolutely wild. Nobody brings that, surprisingly. People don't realize how good physically offensive Mew is, mainly because the base power moves it gets from the physical side are a little bit lower than the special side, and they don't do as much. Like, you're relying on like Zen Headbutt plus Shadow Claw instead of Psychic plus Shadow Ball, and that's like a 10 base power decrease for both of them, and the side effects just aren't as good as the Spit F drop for Special Mew. So I liked that you used that a lot. I liked the pressure that you put on the Suicune, and then not biting on the Alakazam bait was really solid, and it ended up winning you the game right there. You set up the game very, very, very well. I love the physical Mew bring. Wearing down Necro's walls is a priority, and despite it getting toxic on like everything, you pulled through. You looked really dominant despite playing another top-level opponent. You guys were both undefeated going into that game, and it looked incredibly dominant. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing you kind of smash through everybody else as you head through, probably on your way to a championship. If I had to pick one, I would definitely pick you at the moment. That's pretty much all there is to it. So enjoy that. Hopefully you guys liked this. Way shorter video than normal. And that's because there were 2 matches that weren't played, and also 2 6-0s that I had almost no points about because they were clean 6-0s that happened because of like 1 set or 1 turn or whatever. So either way, that's gonna be for me, guys, and I'll catch you guys for week 6, hopefully.